Are you familiar with the concept of passport bros? You heard of it before?
I think so.
It's a lot of guys in the West are leaving and going to find wives abroad because they don't like the way Western women behave.
No, I haven't heard of it.
So it's a growing movement. It's something that's been happening for a very long time, but it's picked up a lot of steam, obviously, because of the internet. It's spreading quite a lot. Now, obviously, the culture in the West has shifted quite a bit. Women are not the same as they was 20, 30 years ago. Not just in the workplace, but just their mindsets, which I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing, but some guys have taken it as a negative. I think there's good reason to take it as a negative in some aspects, because when I've traveled around, I have noticed cultural changes, cultural differences between the women over here and the women back in our countries or in like parts of Asia or even in Eastern Europe. They are very different. And maybe you don't like the way the women behave over here now, so it would stand to reason that you go and find somebody that maybe has more traditional values elsewhere, because tradition in the West seems to be going out the window. So the passport bros has been a growing movement. Now, my problem with it, I don't have a problem with guys going abroad to look for girls. I have no problem with it whatsoever. My problem is more around the narrative that the women abroad are stupid. That's what women over here will say.
That's what they're saying.
A lot of women will say over here, men are leaving these educated women to go and look for stupid women abroad that they can oppress, that will be basically they're subservient to them, right? Obedient. And I think the women abroad now are starting to see this and push back, because women abroad, for as much as people might want to say, and they think that people in the West are the only ones that are educated, women abroad are very educated. There's this whole notion that women abroad, when I say abroad, I mean in a very broad term. I'm not just talking about one or two places. There's some weird notion online. I know not all English and British women believe this, but there's a growing idea that women in other countries are just not as educated, and that's why men want to go there. Anyway, I've been following it, and I came across this video of a Filipino wife basically defending her man, and I thought it was really interesting. I wanted to show it to you, show it to these people. Now, I know the passport bros movement pisses people off. To be honest with you, I don't really know why. I think you should go anywhere you want. That goes for a woman as well. If you're looking for a man that suits your needs and Western men don't suit, I don't see the problem in going to Asia, right? If maybe you like a more traditional Turkish man, right, and you go to Turkey, is there a problem with that?
Just depends on what you're looking for.
Good morning, everyone. It's me again, Leia, and today's video, this is something different. I don't normally make a video like this, but yeah, I'm gonna react on the videos all over on social media, especially on TikTok. Some Karens or some Western women hating a video about passport bros, whatever. I don't know who come up with that name, but yeah, they're not just attacking those passport bros, they're also attacking us Asian women. They're calling us names and saying insult words. So I don't feel like talking in front of the camera today, so I'm gonna do it in a different way. I'm just gonna do a voiceover. So yeah, let's get started.
These passport bros are comprised of lonely, broke, overweight, middle-aged men who can't score women in the U.S. because they have nothing to offer besides a one-bedroom apartment with a chirping smoke alarm.
Okay, so I came over to her TikTok account to check out some of her videos, and yes, most of her videos is all about hating passport boys, passport bros, and attacking Asian women as well. So she's really angry, and it's almost so funny. So I'm still shocked. But
She was quite broad-shouldered. That was a big girl. But it's kind of funny for her to be saying all that stuff about men when, I mean, I can't see the top of her face, but bottom was saying a lot, right? I also don't understand why women over here are so pressed with men going abroad. What's the problem? I'm genuinely confused at what the problem is.
I will never understand people that have something to say about what other people choose to do with their love life or who they choose to get with and stuff. Just let people be happy and let people do what they want to do.
Yeah, do you know what? If women started turning to passport girls or whatever, like I would say, okay, cool. Go somewhere else and look for a man.
Some of them do, though. There's a lot of girls that will fly to Dubai to look for a rich man.
Oh, yeah. We know all about them ones.
But why is no one saying anything about that? Well, they are, but they're not. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's just like, I don't... If a guy wants to go and find a more traditional wife and he thinks he's going to find her in Asia, what is the problem? Right? Because you think these women are stupid. That's the problem. They think that these women are dumb and that these women aren't educated, and they think that all these women are looking for are green cards. That's the common narrative. That's the propaganda that you hear about, like Colombian women or Asian women or girls in Eastern Europe. I know plenty of guys that have Eastern European, Asian, and Spanish or Hispanic girlfriends, and they're very, very, very happy.
But also, just because somebody's got a different outlook on life to you also doesn't make it wrong, because there might be a man who wants a woman who just wants to be a traditional housewife, stay at home, look after the kids. That's what he's looking for. There might be a woman that wants to do that and wants a man to do that. So what is the issue if that's what these people are choosing to do? Where and why does it bother you? I don't understand.
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea what the issue is.
Like, for example, sorry.
No, go on.
Like, as you know, I like American men. So if I went to America to try and find an American husband, am I wrong for doing that? Do I have to stick with a UK boy because I was born in the UK?
No, you don't have. You don't only want an explanation. You can go wherever you want to look for a woman.
This is it.
There's going to be things about those people's cultures that you
Or
like.
man.
Oh yeah, forgot you're not gay. There's going to be things about our culture or someone else's culture that you like or dislike, and you will go with what suits you. I know my friends that have gone to Australia to get with girls. I know guys that have gone to Japan to get with girls. I know guys that have gone to America and they've got girls. And the same goes for the girls. This whole, passport bros are looking to prey on women that are uneducated. And I mean, there's always going to be an element of guys that go abroad to places to do things they shouldn't be doing, right? We covered that with that MLD guy, right? Where he went to Japan and he was hitting the women and whatever. There's always going to be an element of that. But there's also gold diggers, right? They go and they find some rich guy off sea and they fleece him for his money because she's got big old titties. Like, you pretend like it don't happen both ways. But majority of the time, if someone's just looking for love and they prefer someone else's culture, well, why wouldn't you go over there and look? Doesn't make any sense why you'd be pressed about that.
What she just said, especially coming from her, I'm still not convinced if she's really a woman though. But anyways, that's exactly why most of your men are leaving. I mean, in becoming passport bros, because of your attitude and mindset you have. We know to have nothing, and so we are appreciative in life. We are grateful and we appreciate every penny that our men make, that most of you don't do. For you, they don't make enough, especially for your high maintenance life. And yes, you may consider them broke in your high maintenance life, but here in Asia, we consider them rich. And also, we don't see them as overweight. I think they're just big and tall with sexy eyes and big nose. Just what most of us attract in a guy. Besides, we always compliment our men. We always make them feel they're the most handsome men in the world. And most of us dreaming to have kids with them so we can have mixed beautiful kids. And don't worry, ma'am, because as soon as they arrive here, they will never feel lonely again.
She's throwing so much shade. But I will say this, right? I've dated Asian girls, and almost every single time they have gone out of their way to make me feel like I was the most beautiful person on the planet. They really do go out of their way to do that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Western women don't do that.
Okay.
But I've dated multiple Western women. I've noticed it with Asian girls. They really do go out of their way.
But I also do think that Western men don't appreciate it as much when it's coming from a Western woman.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Why?
I think the men around these sides are a bit more, would consider it as too needy or too much, or, you know,
Or complimenting.
Just if you are really, I don't know. I
don't think I wouldn't see
I
complimenting.
think if
as
you're
needy.
in a relationship with them, they might. I think it depends on how the man feels towards you.
Well, yeah, but we're talking in general. In general, if your girlfriend's showering you with praise, you're not going to see that as needy. The needy part
Some men
comes in.
do though. It's like some men want to chase a woman and for the just to feel like the woman is. I don't know.
I think needy comes into it where, for example, if I say to you, I'm going to work, and then you have a problem with it, or like you're belling off my phone all the time.
No, I get that, but I just think sometimes. I think a lot of Western men have a really big ego, and sometimes you can rub that ego with the compliments, and then they go on this pedestal and think that they're better than you.
I mean, those just don't sound like good people, but
No,
I think you
yeah.
probably get that anywhere.
Yeah.
Speaking from personal experience.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well,
not.
I mean, like I've always noticed that Asian women, and obviously I knew when they were telling me that I'm not the most gorgeous person on the planet, but they really do try to, like, I don't know if that's a cultural thing, but I have noticed it with Asian girls.
So these guys go overseas to look for women who, in their own words, are submissive and obedient.
Okay, ma'am, let me educate you on this one. Yes, we are submissive. What it means to be submissive to a man? There's a huge misunderstanding that it means to be obedient. Don't give opinions, just do whatever your man says. That's not what it means to be submissive. Submission means we confidently trust our man to lead our family in their house. Men wants to know that you trust them. It makes them feel being respected. And I hope I make that one clear.
I'm sorry, she's spitting facts right now.
She's just she's a traditional woman. She's living how old school traditional women lived.
But the thing is that, like, that word submissive has, people have been duped into thinking that you have to bow your head to your man. What she said there is a perfect explanation. I don't need to repeat it. You heard it there. What she said is what it means. That's what people mean when they're talking about submissive. I don't want a woman that's going to pretend, is going to act like a sheep and is going to agree with every single thing I've said. But I do want a woman that's going to make me feel like I'm worth something in the house, that I'm steering this ship and she's got my back. I don't want some combative woman. I'm going to come home all the time and she's giving me shit. She thinks that, you know, she's the fucking alpha in the house or some bullshit. No guy wants to deal with that bullshit. Deal with enough shit on the outside.
Yeah.
I want to come home to someone that is my peace, that makes me feel like they are happy for me to be there.
No, you want them because they're easy to manipulate. You know that they are willing to do whatever it takes to live the American dream and provide a better life for their families. Even if it means having to play the submissive role and having to sleep with your disgusting asses.
Oh my god, you got it all wrong, man. You misinform, to the highest level. You have no idea of the true character of a Filipina or Asian woman is. By the way, for lunch, I'm going to make chicken thigh for my passport king, passport bros lunch. But let's go back to our topic. We Filipinas know how to take care of our men by respecting their rights. Being submissive is saying yes to everything, even if it is wrong, and we do not do that. We know how to stand our ground if we have to, so that's not true that we are easy to manipulate. But yes, we are submissive. We don't have to play that role because that's just how we are. Our parents teach us how to be good wives by taking care of our men and giving them respect. Also, we learned that from our parents to let the men control the household, and we wives should be the light of the house, so we will be that light. And another thing is, most of you want the man to do things for you, and yet you do not want to do things for your man. That is pure hypocrisy. That's why they leaves you. If you men come to the Philippines or Thailand or any other Asian country because they like spicy, we are Lami. We know how to take care of your man and ourselves at the same time. That's not surprising that they choose us over you. We take care of you men better than you. And it seems like some of you are insecure about how we treat men better than you guys. If you feel threatened about in some kind of way, I suggest you to work on yourselves instead of talking about nasty words about other people. That's really not nice. And you keep insulting, body shaming these guys, calling them overweight. As I said, we know how to take care of our men. And besides, we Asian women, we are fit and sexy, and so we inspire our men to stay active, eat healthy, and to live longer. And if you want to be happy in life, I suggest you to be nicer and lower your standards. Not all Asian women are dreaming to have American life or have your green card, whatever. Besides, most of us are happy to stay to have a simple life in our own country.
She is absolutely cooked, this woman. She's cooked her. And the woman that is talking shit, I don't even know why she would be pressed that the guy is going abroad. Why would you want trash in your country anyway? The way you put down men. Why would you even be pressed that they're going abroad? Wouldn't you be happy? If there was a bunch of heifers in this country that I didn't want to see and they were going abroad to find men, why would I care? Good riddance. Seems to me like you've been rejected multiple times, but because you can't cook, you can't clean, you ain't taking yourself to the gym, you're combative, you're annoying, loud. You're everything that this woman isn't.
Yeah, I think in certain instances, for certain women, you can't disrespect men, treat them a certain way, you behave a certain way yourself, and then be surprised when they go elsewhere, or expect them to stick around through bullshit, basically.
Yeah, and I watched multiple women from Asia talking about this because they're the ones that get the brunt of the attack. And I looked into it. Apparently, Filipino women are some of the most educated women in the world.
Passport bros, like, they're getting women from, like, the DR, Colombia.
Yes. Wait. Excuse me? Uneducated? Girl, have you been to the Philippines? Filipinos are very smart. And a lot of Filipinos are nurses, teachers, doctors, lawyers. And you're calling us uneducated? Do some research, girl. Okay?
What I don't understand is bringing other women down to make yourself feel a little bit better. That these men have left your country. So in retaliation, rather than looking inwards and being like, why are so many guys going abroad to find wives? Instead, you attack these women and say they're uneducated, say they're stupid, say they have to bow their head to men. It's a scapegoat, right? If so many women were leaving this country to go and find men in other countries, wouldn't you say, maybe we should look inwards? Maybe we are pushing these women away and they have to go abroad. You think every single guy that is going abroad is some predator that wants some woman that's just going to bow her head to him? Maybe he just wants a bit of peace and quiet.
Trust me, we don't want them, and we appreciate you guys taking out the trash for us.
Well, no problem, madam. We're happily to accept them. We are happy to have them and rescue from Karen like you. Besides, we have what they're looking for anyway.
It's not even love, it's a business arrangement.
Okay, so how can you say it's not love? Clearly, you've never been in an Asian country. Do you even know what love is? We may have a different culture, different nationality, and have a big age gap. But we are human. We have feelings, we fall in love, and we care for each other. Also, we have it called intimacy, like every couple do. Besides, they said they enjoy it more with us Filipinas because we are more passionate and we love to be close with our men, and we value them. We will do everything for them to make them feel happy. So yes, it's love and it's not a business. By the way, guys, this Thai chicken smells so good and it's delicious. So my passport gang will love me more for that.
This girl's got jokes. She's still in bare shape.
It's making me hungry.
That looks good. But you know what? I always tell girls, right, that I'm not a relationship guru. Like, I'm not one of those guys that pretends to be a relationship guru. But one thing I fucking hate is if I get with somebody, I know I'm going to have differences to them. But I will try my best to entertain the things that I'm not usually interested in. Whatever that is. It could, like you've brought up to me before, it could be the fucking Kardashians. I'll sit there with her and I'll watch it because I like to see her happy. Right? And that's one thing that I learned throughout my relationship is try your best to take an interest in your partner's activities or things that they're interested in, because that's a way of showing love to someone, right? It's really nice to me in the past relationships I've had when someone has actually sat down with me and watched something that I would usually watch on my own because nobody else was interested in it, or just listened to me, or not made me feel like I was talking to a brick wall. Oh, I'm not interested in that. Let him go do that on his own. Like, I don't understand people that behave like that. I'll never understand it. I can get it when like you're trying to learn about relationships, but like 30, 40, 50-year-old people that are still behaving like that, no wonder people don't want to deal with that bullshit. Nobody wants someone that's like, oh, I'm not doing that, and then giving them a headache. Like, just be a little bit open-minded, try shit out, don't be abrasive all the time. Learn to cook Thai food like that, man. That looks delicious. What is that?
Do you see that? As a Filipina, that's my dream right there. To have a family and have a peaceful life. I just want best for my family. That's all I want. So I hope these ladies are living their best life. By the way, I'm about to pick some coconut juice or coconut from our backyard and this to cool down my head because it's very hot today.
I don't personally have an issue with Western women myself. I've not run into a lot of issues, but I have observed them. I know people that have had them, And I can understand the passport bro movement to an extent. I can definitely understand. Obviously, there's pros and cons of everything, but I completely get it. And I would say the same for women if they didn't feel like they were getting what they wanted from men in the West. I just don't see the problem with it. If you find happiness in Asia with the cultural changes and the way the women behave, what's the problem? If you got an issue with it, maybe look inwards. Maybe you are the problem. If you genuinely feel pressed by that, maybe you are the problem. Maybe you know that when you look at yourself in the mirror, with your loud, abrasive nature or your dismissive nature, that you are the problem. Otherwise, why would you have a problem with it? Right? I'm going to Japan soon. Maybe I'll come back with a wifey.
Wouldn't you want to just stay there?
No, I don't want to live in Japan. I would want to stay there for a long time. But
When you go, are you going to be like on the hunt for the wife?
No. I'm
Going to be on the lookout?
No, I'm going with the boys.
Yeah, but still.
Well, I mean, if I meet someone there, then, you know, I mean, I've got the money to fly back and forth when I want, so it wouldn't be a problem. But I'm not going there with the intention of looking for a wife.
How far's the flight?
It's, I think, 17 to 20 hours. We've got to stop in Beijing for 4 hours and then fly over.
What's the time difference?
It's complete opposites.
So like Australia?
When we're getting in bed, they're waking up. Yeah, my friend Yumiko, I was texting her and like literally as I'm getting in bed, she's like, "Oh, hi Mike." I'm like, "What time is it?" She's like, "Okay, it's 9 a.m. I was like, "It's 1 a.m. here. Good night." We're not having a chat now. I'm not saying I'm not going to become I might, or maybe I'd fall under that category. I don't know. I'm not particularly going somewhere to look for. If I find a wife in England, that's great. But I'm not mad at the passport bro movement. I don't think people should. If you are mad at it, maybe you're part of the problem.